Hey everyone, welcome to Mercury's Retrograde. This is your reading for this month, well not the month of June, but for the retrograde in Gemini, Mercury's retrograde in Gemini. This is for the sign of Taurus. You are last but not least. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what Mercury has in store for you during its retrograde and what it wishes to leave you with after. We also have Saturn in retrograde as well, Taurus. So there's a lot of lessons in discipline and also in patience and thinking before you speak, thinking before you do things with Mercury's retrograde. Okay. All right. For Taurus, let's go ahead and pull some oracle messages first, and then we'll get into your tarot. Universe, source, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, deities, please come to us today to speak the sign of Taurus, for all signs of Taurus, for Mercury's retrograde in the season of Gemini, from now until June 22nd, 2021, for all signs of Taurus, all signs of Taurus, universe, source, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, deities. Please come to us today to speak to all signs of Taurus at this time, all signs of Taurus for Mercury's retrograde. Mercury's retrograde in Gemini season, June 2021, for Mercury's retrograde for the sign of Taurus. Sign of Taurus for Mercury's retrograde, Gemini season 2021. Okay. Very interesting. We have tune into stillness. I can definitely feel this energy for you, Taurus. It's like a sense of quiet. Some of you guys may not be answering text messages, phone calls. You may not be showing up as much in other people's lives right now. Tune into stillness, right? It says an effective way to develop inner calm is to place your attention on something that is already calm. This could be a tree, a cloud, a building, or an item on a shelf. Notice which parts of your experience feel still or relaxed, and make the decision to rest your mind there. This is relatively easy if we are in a quiet place, but it is just as possible when we are somewhere noisy and busy. You will find moments of stillness everywhere if you look for them. Finding stillness and turning the mind there means you can have access to rest wherever you are. So Taurus, whatever you're going through at this time during Mercury's retrograde, whatever circumstances you find yourself in at this time, it is always possible to find peace and tranquility no matter where you are, no matter what circumstances you're dealing with, no matter what's going on in your life negatively or positively. You can always step away, put headphones in, turn on music, read a book, listen to a podcast. There's always moments of peace anywhere. Right outside your front door, right in your own home. All right, let's pull a couple more oracle messages. I'll pull 3 more oracle cards for you, Taurus. The sign of Taurus for their Mercury retrograde messages in the season of Gemini, June 2021, for Mercury's retrograde, for the sign of Taurus, universe source. Sign of Taurus for Mercury's retrograde. The sign of Taurus for Mercury's retrograde. The sign of Taurus for Mercury's retrograde. Taurus for Mercury's retrograde. Taurus. Patterns. There's those cool colors again, even though you have some reds in there and some oranges. Still very cool colors. All right, so patterns. A feeling that history is repeating. The patterns in your past, in your childhood, in your relationships, in your career are escapable. Stop and learn the lesson so you can move forward. There is no need to mindlessly or endlessly hit repeat. Look outside of what you know and break a cycle. Someone, perhaps the universe, is trying to tell you something. A unique response to a repeat problem is needed. So Taurus, there is some things that have been occurring in your life time and time again. Some of you guys, whether you are aware of it or not, every single Mercury retrograde, something happens. The same thing happens. And it's because the universe has been calling for you to stop and think about this pattern. Stop and think about some things that continue to resurface in your lives, in your hearts, in your minds, right? In your bodies. Something that's been on your heart, someone that is attached to your heart, a space in your heart that you have for someone or something. You need to stop and really ponder why you keep thinking about that person or that thing, or why you continue to encounter certain experiences. Instead of feeling like you have to wander around and be active in order to find what you're looking for, the answers that you're looking for, you really don't need to do anything. You just need to sit and let your mind and your spirit communicate with you, instead of you trying to use your mind to find what you're looking for. Let your mind bring it to you. Let your memories, let your thoughts speak to you. There's something that needs to be decoded in regards to your life, Taurus. And if there are those of you who are too busy trying to get someone else to pay attention to you or get someone else to feel a certain way, some of you guys may be angry at someone, or you feel that they need to feel the same pain that you feel, or they need to understand you. You're too busy. If you get too busy doing that, Taurus, you're not helping anybody. You're not helping yourself. You don't need to do anything in this situation if you're trying to get someone to understand how you feel. Maybe you feel someone did you wrong. And certain things that you do that are patterns of behavior, in some ways it's because of your pain or your trauma. Something that you may have felt belonged to you, but it was taken away from you, or a person walked away from you, and you may still be very upset about that. Okay, that could be for one of you. Okay, but for the rest of you, this is just about changing patterns of behavior. They're not serving you anymore. Just stop what you're doing and sit. My spirit is, this can be for a couple of you, my spirit is saying to let you guys know you need to sit down somewhere. Okay? In all seriousness. For those of you who may drink, or you entertain a certain type of drug habit, if you're too busy trying to create noise in your mind to drown out some type of thought or emotion, it's not serving you, Taurus. If you have a pattern of doing a certain thing because you think that that's what's going to make you feel better or that's what's going to bring you peace, it's not bringing you peace. Sit in your thoughts. There's a sense of urgency and seriousness here with Taurus. All right, Taurus, this can be for one of you. Please listen to this. If you are not going to sit still on your own voluntarily, the universe will need to force you to, and that is not something that you want to happen. You do not want the universe to knock you on your ass so that you can just sit down somewhere and find peace within yourself. Please, whoever this message is for, and for those of you who may be cross-watching for a Taurus, let them know, or show them this video, whatever, right? If you're cross-watching for a Taurus, or if you are a Taurus, it doesn't matter where Taurus is in your chart. If you are constantly doing something to drown out your sorrows or whatever, you're not just learning how to find peace on your own and just resting yourself and finding that stillness, please do not allow don't force the universe's hand to have to force you to. There are so many ways that the universe will cause us to sit. And sometimes it doesn't involve sitting. We end up laying down somewhere in a hospital. Okay? It happens. It causes us to get sick for a time. Some of us may get injured. Something's taken away from us. Don't force the universe's hand, Taurus. And there's a sense of stubbornness that I'm getting from some of you. Find stillness. That was a very serious message, Taurus. That could be for one of you, or for someone that you know who's a Taurus. Okay, whoever that resonates with. All right, let's see what's going on in your romance sector, your sexual lives. Okay, universe, source, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, please come to us to speak to the sign of Taurus, all signs of Taurus, for their love and romantic lives, for their romantic connections and romantic relationships. Universe, source, for the sign of Taurus during Mercury's retrograde, for the sign of Taurus, for their love lives. Taurus, Mercury's retrograde. Attraction, there we go. Stop and smell those roses. It says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Whatever those moments are for you throughout your day, enjoy those precious moments. If you're trying to get someone back, or if you're trying to find someone to date and to be happy with, right? Or you're wanting to win someone's heart, you need to live in the moment. Again, be still. Be still. For those of you who broke up with someone and you're wanting them back, pay attention to why you guys broke up. Stop and embrace and accept those thoughts or those answers that come to you. Because if you guys broke up with someone, it's because there were some moments that you didn't take seriously, Taurus, or some moments that someone else didn't take seriously, and you have to accept that. Let go of control issues. It says, allow this situation to unfold naturally. For some of you guys, it might be too late. This person has lost all interest in this relationship. And I'm not talking about people where this person is still showing interest and still wanting to talk to you. This is someone where it's gone bad between you guys and they're over it. okay, Taurus, or you're just over it. And just accept it. It's time to just let it go, okay? You cannot control anybody. And this person, there's nobody that can control you. You cannot control the outcome of this relationship or this connection. You need to be more present, Taurus. Or it's the other person that needs to be present. And if they're not being present, all well. It's time to focus on what needs to be worked out with yourself. That way, you can manifest a relationship with someone that's more wholesome. You know, sometimes relationships end because someone jumped to conclusions, or you jumped to conclusions, you know, and you didn't want to embrace what was really going on in the relationship, or you weren't ready to understand what that relationship needed to thrive. So some of you guys broke up with someone because there was some control issues going on. Ego has no room in a relationship. If your egos are too big, Taurus, or if your person's ego was too big, or both of your egos were too big, that relationship wasn't going to work out. If you're willing to let go of ego and that person's willing to let go of ego, then you guys can come together and form an agreement. For those of you who you need to let go of someone, maybe for those of you who are dealing with someone who is not talking to you at all, okay, let it go. It's easier said than done, but there's someone else. You're gonna be offered a second chance with someone else. And you're going to learn from this other relationship that you were in with someone else. That's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for breakups to happen because of mistakes. Just hold yourself accountable to that mistake, or that other person needs to hold themselves accountable to that mistake that was made. And move on. Give yourself a second chance with someone else if you can't have that second chance with that other person. The more you hold on to controlling a relationship or controlling the outcome of a situation, the more you're going to lose it. The more it's going to slip through your fingers. The worse it's going to be for you emotionally, right? Enjoy every moment. Don't take your relationships for granted. There's always a lesson to learn. When you meet a person, they're just a mirror. They're a mirror to you, right? Let go of control, Taurus. Let go of control. Be still. Face your fears. Face the facts. Right? That's all you can do. Okay? It's all right to have no control. That may be something that's very, very hard to grasp for a fixed sign, right? All right, let's pull some tarot cards for you guys. For Taurus, universe, source, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, deities. For the sign of Taurus. For their Mercury retrograde messages. Taurus for their Mercury retrograde messages in Gemini season. Ooh, these cards do not want to shuffle. Taurus for Mercury's retrograde in Gemini season. Taurus. You have the Queen of Air. So yeah, someone cut you off, Taurus, or you cut them off. Someone wasn't necessarily maybe a little heartless towards you, or you feel they're being heartless, but maybe they're just doing the best that they can for themselves and just letting the relationship go. That might be the best thing. Or you're just doing the best for yourself, and maybe someone thinks that you're being heartless, but you know, you just got to do the best for yourself. Can't worry about if a relationship or a connection or a situation is done with. It's just done with, right? You need to learn to just practice practice independence. Be confident in what you know. Be confident that you will find better in the future. Learn from your experiences, because those experiences will season you, right? You need to embrace realistic. You need to embrace reality, Taurus. If there's any part of you that's a little bit disillusioned or it's kind of believing a lie, or hoping that if you continue to hold on to something that it'll eventually change for the better, that's not the reality. There's a decision that you need to make, Taurus, an objective decision without emotional hold, right? You have to let go of what no longer serves you, what no longer is good for you, what is not improving you. Your heart will say one thing, but your intuition is going to say a different thing sometimes. Okay? Six of Earth. Yeah, there was a lack of reciprocity in some type of a relationship. This could be with the job too, where you got to let go. Okay? Or maybe someone let you go of a job. They fired you or you were laid off. It wasn't anything personal. They just had to do what they had to do, right? And you just got to move on. You just got to dwelling on it. And, you know, especially for those of you who may drink or you may have a, you know, an addiction, that's not going to help you. Things that are taken away from us, they're taken away from us because we didn't need it at that time, or, you know, it wasn't for us. Have faith that what is for you will be given to you, Taurus. All right. You have a new job opportunity here. For those of you who are worried about money, it will be given to you. Queen of Water. Okay, some of you guys are dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is Scorpio energy. So Taurus, there are those of you that are dealing with a Scorpio, or you needed to let go of a Scorpio, or Scorpio let go of you. Okay. This can also be you guys, Taurus, where you guys need to just deal with everything in love, not in anger or frustration or pettiness. If you want a relationship to move forward and it's not moving forward, it's because of these control issues. You got to let go. Trust your intuition. In this particular situation, Taurus, trusting your heart right now, you got to let your heart mature a little bit. You need to grow that. But your intuition is never going to let you down. You need to deal with everything in love and patience. Practice empathy. Right? If there's someone who let you go because the relationship just wasn't working out, understand why, like just kind of understand that person's perspective, okay? Maybe they just weren't ready. Or maybe they were just stressed out. It happens. Okay, to take your ego out of it. If this person did you wrong, you know, come to an understanding about what that person's problem was and just be like, well, that was their problem. That does not mean that you're not lovable, okay? If you want an equal give and take, remember, Taurus, you got to give before you can expect anything to be given to you sometimes, right? Or vice versa. This can be the other person needing to learn that. But your heart, Taurus, has been hurt. And there are some patterns of behavior that you still implement in your day-to-day life because of that trauma. Yeah, we have the Seven of Fire. You need to move on, form a new path. That's Leo energy. Some of you guys are dealing with a Leo. Don't get into fights or start any type of petty conversations or petty arguments because you're upset or just because of emotions. Choose your battles wisely. Steer away from arguments and petty behavior or gossip. Look at the reality of the situation, okay? If you need to let someone go, or it's time for a relationship to be severed, or it's time for you to let go of a job, whatever, or let go of a friendship, let it go. It is nothing personal. It just means that it's just not serving you, right? Yeah, some of you guys are fathers. Clarify these cards for you, Taurus. Some of you guys are fathers. We have the Emperor that wanted to show itself. Some of you guys are dealing with an Aries, or this is a manager. This is management. Others of you may be managers and you need to lay some people off. And you may be having a hard time with that, possibly. But if you got to lay somebody off, you just got to lay somebody off, right? But if you need to let go of a job, let it go. But if for those of you who are fathers, you may be dealing with a significant other or baby mama, or, you know, a girlfriend or something like that. You guys have children, and you got to let go of this ego. It could be about a custody thing, but it can also just be, you may have issues with how you communicate with your children if you're a father, okay? Even if you're a mother. But if you're a parent, especially if you're a masculine energy and you're a father, you may be very structured in how you discipline your children, or you need to be more structured and disciplined when it comes to your children. But others of you have to let go of ego when it comes to communicating with your children. If this is custody, you need to just look at the logical and the realistic aspects of the situation. Because custody you can always get your emotions mixed up in there, instead of just looking at the reality of the situation and dealing with every single situation objectively. Okay, let me pull my pendulum out really quickly to connect with these cards. We have the Ace of Air at the bottom of the deck. There's that clarity, that realistic energy, that energy that just cuts through the air like butter. It gets to the bottom of the problem. If you're trying to solve a problem, if you have a way of solving problems in your life where you think beating around the bush or being petty, or maybe there's someone who's being that way, that's not what's going to solve your problems. Ignoring the problem, that's definitely not going to solve the problem. You have to face the reality of your issues in your life, and you need to be still and think about, brainstorm these things and understand, okay, what is not working in my life anymore and why? What am I not paying attention to? Because this Emperor energy here, he has the Ace of Swords or the Ace of Wands in his hands. He sees things for what they are. He makes objective decisions. We have Awakening, which is judgment here. You need to be yourself. Show yourself truly in a relationship. You need to change your perspective. If there's something that trips, that kind of is this card says temporary standstill. There's that stillness again. So when it comes to a job or a relationship, Taurus, if there's a temporary standstill with that, it's because it's supposed to be a temporary standstill. You're not supposed to go anywhere. This retrograde, you're not supposed to go anywhere. You're not supposed to go where you're hoping to be. Mercury's retrograde is going to make sure that you sit still so that you can understand these lessons about your life. Four of Earth. There's that stubbornness I was talking about. It's that imbalance. You have to give before you can expect to receive. What is it that you have to give? I don't know. Only you know that. The universe will show you that. It could be maybe you need to start giving more of your energy to your children or to your relationships. Maybe you need to give more energy into loving yourself. Maybe you need to give more energy into maybe going to therapy, going for a walk, spending time in nature. Maybe you need to give your ego to the universe. Give up something so that something can be given to you. Maybe you need to give up control of a relationship or give up control of a situation. Four of air. There's a lot of fours here. That's the stillness. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Stop and think about, let your mind give you the answers. Let your spirit give you the answers, Taurus. Stop doing what you're doing. Just stop and think. Ponder, meditate, decode some things. Because whatever it is that you're doing, Mercury is like, you need to stop doing it. It's not working anymore. Okay? If there's someone who's bothering you and they make you feel like you got to do something, tell them to leave you alone. Tell them to leave you alone. You're done. Let them go, okay? And if this is you doing this, Taurus, where you're bothering somebody and you're constantly trying to get them to understand how you feel and that, you know, you're upset because they're not as unhappy as you or whatever is going on, leave them alone. You focus on yourself. Okay? Sit down before you fall down. Okay? Or sit down before the universe got to knock you down. Because that's usually what ends up happening to people. You know, that ends up happening to us when we don't want to sit down somewhere. The universe got to knock us down. You know what I mean? I love you guys. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Take care, Taurus. Bye.